Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad here this Tuesday morning. Got a big show lined up as always. You know, I never say we got a little show lined up. We got a big show lined up. But first, our weather brought to us by Haney Technical Center at the corner of Baldwin and Highway 77. Job fair coming up in February. Talk about more of that later. But now the weather is going to be nicer and warmer than it has been the last couple of days. It started warming up a little bit yesterday. High today's getting up to 66. Folks, we're talking about Wednesday's getting back in the 70s, 73. So this cold spell was perfect Florida cold spell like we've always had. It come in there for about 3 days and just blow us out and cold and everything. And we called off our trip to the river. Hopefully we're going to try to do it this weekend, and it's going to be a lot nicer. Low tonight is going to get all the way down to 57. And remember, that was high. They didn't get out of 40s last week over the weekend. Here's a big thing on the weather. I'm looking at this morning. The water temperature dropped down to 61 degrees. I mean, it plummeted. It's been, remember, it's been at 65, 66, and 64, and then all of a sudden, boom, it went down. It's a combination of seas. They said got up there on Saturday when that really blowing. I talked to some people who said the seas were like 10 to 12 foot of some of those waves. So that really got things stirred up, and the currents and all, and just the cold air finally affected the water temperature. Now the river readings, take a look at the river readings. We're getting back in good shape. The Apalachicola dropped all the way down to 17.2. I'm being teasing now when I'm talking about it was good shape. It's still high, 17.2, and the Choctaw at Caryville is 12.3. Both rivers really high, but they have dropped some and should continue to drop a little bit. Tide chart, looking at the low tide at 5:07 this morning and a high tide at 7:13. Got a tide coming in all day. But the wind, the big thing on the wind, it's been coming out of northwest with all that cold air. It's going to start swinging around. That's where we're going to get our warm air from. So it's going to come from east for a little while, then come a little bit out of southeast. So that'll be in good shape at about 5 to 10. All right, we'll take our break and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back. I know some of y'all are curious about I try to keep things moving around on decorating and everything, try to stay seasonal. And we're about to wrap up on duck season, but I've had this here. It's been on the shelf back here. I saw it this morning. I said, I'm going to put it out here. This is what we call a bluebill, or a technical name, a lesser scaup, S-C-A-U-P. This is a predominant bird. We shoot more of these birds than we used to duck hunt than any bird. And one of my students, Harris Marshall, Scott Marshall's youngest son, this was his outdoor project. He actually shot this bird, and he actually mounted it. He did it himself. And for an amateur, someone does not do it for a living, did a remarkable job. He wanted me to have this, make sure I have this, and so I told him I was going to bring it down and put it on show during duck season. So here it is, Harris, if you're getting to watch it. So you're famous here now. All right, let's look at some, and these birds right here, you got to be hungry for ducks to eat them. A little fishy tasting at a time, but if you're duck hungry, they're good. But they're pretty prevalent around here. Okay, let's look at some of my pictures. I'm gonna have to use my phone today. We got my iPad. I forgot it, to be honest with you, but we're gonna work it out anyway. Check out some of these pictures. Oh, here we go. Chuck Hartzman, one of our loyal viewers. I'm gonna read it right here. Happy New Year. Thought I would share a photo from this past Thursday. That was last Thursday, from my first fishing trip of the new year. I had my good friends Jay Atkins and Ming Chung with me on a beautiful January day with warm temps and calm seas. This is right before the cold weather came in. The day started slow, but after hitting a couple of spots, we finally found them stacked up, literally right under the boat at about 50 foot. We got them on everything from bull minnows, belly strips, and artificial lures. 23 total kept, with a few big ones lost and several smaller fish thrown back to grow up. All in all, a great day with great friends and beautiful weather. Best regards, Chuck Hartzman. Check this out, folks. Now, don't you know that was a good flounder fishing trip last Thursday? And some good eating right there. Good job, Chuck, and thanks for sharing that with us. You're going to start seeing some deer pictures now. Alan Hawkins, Southgate, okay? Nice one there, Alan Hawkins. They were running this weekend. This is right here, Justin Hagler at the Bear Creek Hunting Club. Good job, Justin. All right, right here, we got, this is, it's going to be a little different doing it off the phone. Let's see, that was Justin. All right, let me go to the next one. This is over at Navarre Pier, but I wanted to show it because this is a fluke. The first king mackerel of 2017, Friday morning at Okaloosa Island Pier. I'm sorry, not Navarre, Okaloosa Island Pier. It was 58 degrees. That's right before the water came in. I mean, the weather came in. The water was flat, and right there was a king mackerel on January the 5th, I believe, what he caught it on. But that's not the king run, okay? I just wanted to show it to you. Jennifer Barnett, Dad Steve, and Jana Barnett. This is Mom and Dad, and this is Jennifer. I'm gonna make her. She's a regular. About every week, I'm showing a picture of her either duck hunting or getting a big buck. And she's my former Outdoor Club president. Good job, Jennifer. Y'all need to go by there and see the Ironworks and tell them. Kylie Birch. All right, it took forever to put this shot on him, but I finally got him. First deer I've killed, and beyond blessed, it was a 10-point. Thankful to my dad that he loved me enough to sit with me through this. Kylie Birch. Okay, got him down to the processing plant. Good job, Kylie. And good job, Dad, for sitting with her. Okay, that's Jennifer. I just showed her. I think I got some doubles here. All right, Holly Hill. Okay, this is her son, Jamie Schulte's son. This is Christian Schulte. It's his first buck ever. He was so excited. Jamie Schulte is one proud daddy. Way to go, son. Now, that's a nice buck right there. I wrote back to them. That's a memory of a lifetime. Now getting that first buck right there. His grandparents, George Hill. I've known George. Krista Hill used to teach with me and all, and good folks there. And good job, Christian. All right. I just showed Justin Hagler. Well, Junior, his daddy, was upset too, so he went ahead and shot him one. So that's the father and the son on the same day. That's Junior Hagler on the left and Justin on the right. Good job. And E.J. Comerford. That's E.J. Now he's from here. That's Eddie Joe Comerford's son. EJ's 28 years old now. I saw him the other day. Okay, this is Danny Redfern. And look at that big buck right there. Danny's in the center, okay? On the back to our right is his dad, Jim, and then his son, Ryan. So Ryan on the left, Danny in the center, and Jim on the right. And here's a better picture of it. I want to stop a second and tell you. See, y'all see Jim Redfern on the right. I got to tell y'all a quick story on Jim Redfern. Winston Chester ended up in Panama City because of that man right there, Jim Redfern. Now, I love telling this story. I grew up in Quincy, 80 miles east of here. Went to the University of Florida 4 years, graduated, and looking for a job. By then, I was married, I had a kid, and so I wanted to get a job. Did an internship in Tallahassee at the Department of Education, and a good internship. And I almost stayed in Tallahassee, but I didn't want to live in Tallahassee, all those Seminoles and all. So I wanted to live in Northwest Florida. So the guys I worked for, as my former coaches, a great group of people at that time in the Department of Education. It's got a little liberal since then, but at that time, it was a well-run department. So they said, Winston, you need to go down to Gainesville. They have a coaching clinic the first weekend every year. The coaches from all over the state come in. There'll be job openings. So I'll go down there, and we're at the Florida Student Union. I'll never will forget this. I'm a young guy, and all these coaches coming in and out. I didn't know anybody. I go to job bulletin board, posted right there at the Student Union, and I look up there, job. They want to Fort Myers and Tampa. I didn't want to go that way. So I saw Panama City, Rutherford High School, Seacoast, Jim Redfern. I said, Panama City, that sounds good. So about an hour later, I'd been milling around, been a couple of meetings going back and forth, and coaches, hobnobbing and all. I started walking up the stairs to the next meeting, was going to be upstairs there, big old student union. And I was going upstairs, and a guy coming downstairs was with a couple of other coaches. I looked on the name tag, it said Jim Redfern. I just stopped right there, reached across the handrail, said, hey, coach, my name's Winston Chester, and I'm looking for a job. And I stuck my hand out and introduced myself. He introduced, I'm Coach Jim Redfern, and we started talking right there on the stairs. And I basically got hired there. I mean, we talked 20 minutes on the stairs. He's looking for a young coach and all that. But anyway, that's how I ended up in Panama City at Rutherford High School for 3 years and the other 41 years at Mosley. But I've always been indebted to Jim Redfern. Okay, good story. Hope you enjoyed that story. And that's why we have Panhandle Outdoors. If I'd gone to Fort Myers, there would nobody be here. Take a break. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. I'm trying to straighten up my desk. I always try to have a clean desk, but that's never going to happen. Never had it while I was teaching, so no need to start now. So here we go, looking at one more picture. I got to show this picture. I love these folks here. This is Wayne Kelly's wife, Patty Kelly, killed her first buck running dogs today. Look at that. Nice job, Patty Kelly. All right, good picture too. I know that's fun. Good out on a beautiful day. It was a great day to running dogs on Saturday. Now let's look at. Speaking of Saturday, it was really we know about that day and all about how cold it was, and how it was blowing. Well, I had a guy, a young man I know, he's probably in his 40s now, but he actually went out in the Gulf of Mexico in his boat by himself. And I saw what he was doing, and one of his buddies texted him and said, "I hope you fall out." And but this guy, he come from an old St. Andrew family, so he knows boats and everything. And he didn't want me to call out his name, but his first name starts with a K. But K went out Saturday, folks, and he got out there and it got a little bit rougher. He thought he fell out of his boat in that cold water. Fortunately, he could stay close to the boat and was able to climb back in on a ladder and get back in his boat, shivering, and made it back to the house and made it back to the shore and back to the house. But he said the water wasn't that bad, but when you get back up that air. But I wanted to mention about, year before last, I showed, well, last year I actually showed the video of a guy I knew. This guy was in the 70s and fell out of his boat bass fishing down on the lower end of Apalachicola, and he was luckily able to pull himself back in the back of the boat. That's two lucky men right there. A lot of times it can go the other way and go south really quick because your body temperature really drops fast. And both of these men were hunting on extremely cold days. That Saturday was the coldest day we've had, the weatherman said, in 2 years. And he actually, Kay went out, but he just wanted to get out and run his boat. But there weren't very many people out to see him, and neither was my buddy was bass fishing. It took him like 40-something minutes to get back. He said he passed one person in that 40 minutes. So the thing about it, cold weather on the water, no one else is going to be out there. There will be a couple of fools out there. And so be careful. And ironically, both of these men, very experienced. They just accidentally fell out. So, time and time again, I'm telling you, as an outdoors person, be careful. And I keep reminding myself, you can lose your balance, you can slip, all kinds of things can happen. I just wanted to relate to, that's a true story, okay? Now, also, I wanted to, let's see, what else I got here? Pier fishing. Okay, the pier fishing, our pier price is going up to $7 according to all the word I'm getting. I haven't heard the official word, but it's going up from $6 to $7 of pier fishing. Some folks have a problem with it. To me, that's not that big of you can't go to movies as cheap as that. And you look at all the fish you can catch off of a pier. So it's well worth it. As much money as we spend on rod and reels and bait and tackle and everything, $7 is minuscule compared to that. So if you get a chance, I don't know if the official announced it, but the word on the street is it's going up to $7. And again, that's not a big deal, but y'all deal with it but be aware of it when you go out there. But you look at all the fish you can catch off the pier. And that king mackerel I just showed was caught the other day off the pier. You can catch a lot of fish. Remember I showed a picture last week of a lot of flounder being caught off the pier. All right, now next thing I want to talk about, we got coming up 3, 4, maybe 5 years ago, we gave away a trip up to Kentucky to Cumberland River Lodge up in Salem, Kentucky. We gave away a nice trip, and David Lovelace, this right here, the stained glass behind me, David actually did that. It was his family's hunting lodge up there, and they gave a trip, and there's a folks up there in the Funex Springs that worked up there at the chicken factory. I forget what the name of it, Purdue Farms, and they won it, and they just had the best time. Well, David called me the other day. We met up with him, and what they want to do now, but now there's not going to be a free one because they got to pay the taxes and all that on land, but they're going to open it up to turkey hunting. So what we're setting up, and here's the deal right here. I'm going to show you the pictures. In fact, let me go through the pictures right now. I'm going to put them in. I've got them. The first picture here, this is the front door of the Cumberland River Lodge right there. The front door, okay. Now here's the back door of it. That's an old barn that's been reset, been remodeled, and it is really in good shape and all, okay? Upstairs is a bunk room, like the Ponderosa, look at there, all those bunk beds upstairs, okay? And then this is the bed's upstairs, or this might be the one downstairs. And then you got a big old You got the fireplace downstairs, and this is just a real good picture of the lodge itself here, the back door and the front door. Here's a distant picture of it. And here's one more picture of the lodge, of the upstairs sleeping quarters. So here's the deal. April 15th is when the turkey season starts up there in Kentucky. It runs for about a month. And now, by that time, our season, I think, will be winding down. It's for 3 days and 3 nights for $500, okay? And that's a really good deal. Now, you got to get your license, but they're real cheap. I checked online. I forget what they were. I don't want to quote it right now, but it's really cheap for a hunting license in Kentucky. But the big deal now, and here's how you do on a trip like that. If you love to turkey hunt, they've got 700 acres up there. Now, Ken Paramore, I hope you're listening to some of you turkey guys that really love to hunt. Think about taking a trip like that. You get a couple of buddies together, so that splits up the gas. You get up there, and they've got a kitchen, and you just take your own food up there. You cook your food when you're ready. You sit around a campfire in the back, and it's just one of those memorable trips. So we're offering it to the Panhandle Outdoor viewers. Of course, it's open to other people too, but I met with David last week, and they're sincerely wanting to get some folks from here to drive up there. It's about a 9-hour drive, but you can split the cost and split the time driving. Get 3 or 4 people, and it's really that'd be a good hunt, and it'll be one of those memorable hunts. So that's the turkey hunt at Cumberland River Lodge up in Salem, Kentucky, which is not too far outside of let's see, where Walter and Wendy live up in Clarksville at Fort Campbell. All right, let's take our final break, and we'll be right back. Okay, let's look at our fishing game time today, brought to us by Blue Water Outrigger. We're looking at 10:04 to 12:04, and then tonight 10:34 to 12:34. And I was talking about, the full moon is coming up this week, and next week is going to be a good time to hunt deer, so just keep that in mind. Let's add some names right here to our pot, okay? I got a few more coming in. Ed Hogan, Ming Chung, Golda Atkins, Jay Atkins, Patricia Hartzman, Chuck Hartzman, Edsel Swearingen, and Willahima Swearingen. I think all those folks are Panama City folks, so good. We'll add them on there, and we'll add them as time goes on. A few more came in a while ago. I'll get those in tomorrow, okay? I do want to mention bird days, since we've got birds all around. How many bird days we have left in our season? Now, the big thing, what's going to be ending right away is going to be dove. Dove season is going to end the 15th. So in 5 days, dove season will be ending here in Florida. Duck season will be ending the 29th, okay? But don't get upset, because snipe season is going to go all the way through February the 15th. I don't know how many of y'all hunt. Y'all let me know if any of y'all hunt snipe. I don't know anybody hunt snipe anymore. But it is a season, and people do it, okay? And of course, quail always goes into the first part of March, so it'll be March 5th will be in the quail season. But most quail has been hunted, with planted birds and all. But anyway, that's our dates, okay? So the bird season is rapidly coming down. But I did want to mention that. Also, we're talking about pass it on. Showed that picture the other day of the rod and reel being passed on to a young person, and I got to thinking, this weekend we had 2 things happened this weekend that I got tickled at, people posting pictures on Facebook. A lot of people had chili and Brunswick stew and all that. I had a big old pot, everybody's cooking a big old pot of some kind of a chili, or like I say, stew, or some kind of big soup. And the other thing, everybody had a fireplace going, and a lot of people had a fire going, including myself. And this was really it was really nice. I was telling Jeff, I started my fire around noon, and my heater didn't come on till 9 o'clock. When I went to bed about 9 o'clock, but it just stayed that warm in my house. I just love a fire and all. And then Sunday, Chip and his family came over and had his 2 girls, and I was talking about passing on. A lot of times we take for granted what young people know and don't know. And I know y'all recognize this right here as a splinter. Some people call it kindling and starter and all that, but this is, most of y'all in the Panhandle know what a splinters are, and that's how I've always talked about starting a fire with 1 match. It's just always been a challenge. So what I would do, I take 1 match and light this, of course, and get it going. But I had my granddaughter Mackenzie, and I was going to let them. I wanted them to light the fire Sunday. I waited till they got there after church, and they got out there, and I had it all set up. I said, "Okay, honey, go ahead and light it." Well, when she lit it, she held it up like that, and just this little things we talk about. This is the tip of the day okay. A lot of y'all know this. You're gonna hold it down and let the flame come up into here, and then get a bigger flame. Of course, you don't want to, stop it, and of course that's common sense. But once the flame gets big, then you put it into the fire, and then you have some more. And always take a skinny piece of splinter, not those big old fat ones, the thick ones, because they won't burn as good. But always take a skinny one, and I have some special ones I cut just for starting a fire. But that's something. So we sat there and we talked about fires and the things that we take for granted. I explained to them the difference between seasoned wood and green wood. In fact, by this time of year, I get my seasoned wood going and get it going, and then I put some green, a little bit of green in there. It slows it down, but it doesn't take away the heat, and the green wood burns longer. And I explained that to them. And in fact, we put some green wood out, and they were fascinated where the water would burn out. Water would come out the end of the green wood and drop, actually, like little raindrops and all, and they just fascinated with it. So I just assumed they knew all that. So a lot of times as adults and outdoorsmen, we assume, and this is something we just pass it on about how to start a fire. I explained to them about the pyramid, the advantages of a pyramid fire, or a log cabin fire, or I call mine a modified. I start off with a log cabin and it modifies into a teepee. But I just love a fire. I know a lot of y'all do, and a lot of y'all posted outdoor fires and all kinds of things, but that's what's one of the great things about wintertime in the Panhandle, to getting those fires going. But the little things about the splinters and lighter wood, and it's something Wendy said they don't have up there in Tennessee, in the lighter woods, but we have a bountiful supply here. You just got to get out and find it and be careful and all chopping it. So anyway, I just wanted I got to think about it last night. Pass it on, the little things that we do as outdoorsmen, also the big things, on deer hunting and all that. Okay, getting ready to run out of time. We've got some more good stuff coming up tomorrow. We always appreciate you watching the show. Got a guest coming in. We've got the head dog at the FWC coming in Thursday, so you want to make sure you're here when they come on also. We're going to have some good interviews with them, okay? We'll take our closing here. Make sure you do something good for someone else. You have a great day, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.